Good evening, everyone. So for the past couple of nights, I've been thinking about this topic quite a bit, and it's that of suicide, but more broadly, probably depression, and just people that are struggling, really. And my question is, how much responsibility do we take for these people? And I think what's one of the biggest problems in society is that we don't take enough. You quite often hear people say that, you can't help anyone that doesn't want to help themselves. And I think that that's such a cop-out, because what ends up happening is that no one ends up helping anyone. And it's not even about helping people. It's about just being there for them and actively showing love rather than passively showing love. I think too often in society we take that passive approach and we say, I can't do anything, it's not my problem, so I'm just going to sit here and tell this person that I love them, but not actually show it and not make an effort to actually be there and show I give a shit. And I feel like that's a big reason why things like depression, anxiety and suicide rates are increasing at such an alarming rate. And it's because we're not taking responsibility for being there for one another. It's not about helping anyone, it's about loving them. And I'm not saying that that's easy, because it can be frustrating when you see someone that you care about who isn't making the best choices. But threatening that connection to them actually makes things so much worse. And that's something that I learned from Johann Hari and his TED Talk, that everything that we think we know about addiction is wrong. And he essentially talks about the opposite of addiction is connection, not sobriety. And often these people, what they're wanting is just someone to be there, I remember when I was going through a really, really dark patch, and all I wanted was my fucking friends to be there. But no one was, because they were all like, oh no, I can't be there for them, I've got too much on my plate. I wasn't asking them to save me. I wasn't asking them to help me. I was just asking them to be there. And I think that's something that we have to change as society, is actually being there for people and taking an active approach into their life. And not dehumanizing them. It's so easy when the person you love isn't there in front of you to, be angry at them. But how hard is it to be angry at someone when they're sitting there right in front of your face? It's extremely difficult, and that's why I think that technology hinders that, and compounds it. It makes it so much worse. But if we could actually connect to people face to face, maybe we could start saving some lives, or at least making this world a more lovable place. But we can't do that by passively sitting back and not taking responsibility for the sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, sons and daughters that are all in our lives. Like, we actually have to actively show it and be there for one another. As I said, it's not an easy thing, and I know I don't get it right. I've been an absolute bitch to people in my past. When I'm in pain, I push people away, and that's a very common thing to do. But what that pushing people away is doing is a cry for fucking help. It's saying, I'm in pain, I need you to please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. And I think that's such a fundamental concept, is not leaving those that are in that pain, and actually taking responsibility for no other reason than they're a human being and they deserve to be alive. Anyway, that's all that I have for tonight. I'm sure I'll be thinking more about this, but again, if you have any thoughts or comments, feel free to post them. Thanks.